Hello everyone, myself Vivek Devani and my topic is motion of acromioclavicular joint. Before discussing the motion of the acromioclavicular joint, let's discuss in brief about the acromioclavicular joint. So let's start. The acromioclavicular joint is a part of shoulder complex. It is a type of plain synovial joint. Now let's discuss about its articulation. The articulation is between the lateral end of the clavicle and the acromion of the scapula. The articulation of the acromioclavicular joint is lined by a dense fibrocartilage. Now let's discuss about the joint capsule. The joint capsule of the acromioclavicular joint is comparatively weak and cannot maintain its integrity without any kind of reinforcement. It means that the joint capsule needs some or other structures help, such as any kind of ligament or a muscle, to maintain the integrity of a joint. Okay. Now let's discuss about the ligament. There are two kinds of ligaments present. One is intrinsic and other is extrinsic. The intrinsic is the acromioclavicular ligament and the extrinsic is the coracoclavicular ligament. Now let's discuss about the blood supply and nerve supply. The blood supply of the acromioclavicular joint is fulfilled by suprascapular artery, and the nerve supply of the acromioclavicular joint is fulfilled by the lateral pectoral nerve. Now let's come to our today's main topic, which is motions of the acromioclavicular joint. So let's discuss the motion of acromioclavicular joint. So the motions are upward and downward rotation of the scapula, internal and external rotation of the scapula, and anterior and posterior tipping of the scapula. So first let's discuss the upward and downward rotation of the scapula. So the upward and downward rotation of the scapula takes place around the oblique anterior-posterior axis, which means that when abduction along with flexion of our arm takes place, the scapula moves in upward direction with a normal range of motion available 30 degrees. And when abduction along with extension of our arms takes place, scapula moves in downward direction with a normal range of motion of 17 degrees. There will be several muscles involved in the movement. The muscles are serratus anterior, trapezius, levator scapulae, rhomboideus and pectoralis minor. So now let's discuss about the internal and external rotation of the scapula. So the internal and external rotation of scapula takes place around the vertical axis. It means that when protraction of our shoulder takes place, the scapula rotates internally, and when retraction of our shoulders takes place, the scapula rotates externally. The normal range of motion available for internal and external rotation of scapula is 2 to 3 degrees. Okay, the muscles which are involved in the movement are subscapularis, infraspinatus and pectoralis minor. So now let's discuss about anterior and posterior tipping of the scapula. The anterior and posterior tipping of the scapula takes place around the oblique coronal axis, which means that when elevation of our arm takes place, the scapula moves in anterior tipping, and when depression of our arm takes place, the scapula moves in posterior tipping. This happens with a normal range of motion which is around 30 degrees. There are several muscles which will help in the movement, such as serratus anterior, trapezius and pectoralis major. Pectoralis minor. Thank you all for listening me.